Hey everyone, this is Erathsmus with SoCal GG, and I wanted to put up another video to go over some more basics, particularly on how to play any nation. This isn't going to be a specific guide on how to play every nation perfectly, or even focusing on any one nation specifically. Just more so on how to pick up a nation, even preferably without a guide. So let's hop straight in. I'm just going to pick early ages, run with the first thing that I see. Let's just go with Russ. I don't play Russ very much. I know a bit about them, but not enough to play them well. So we're going to look straight at this and figure out how we're going to play this nation. First thing to look at is the national features. Cold scale +2, human infantry, hunters, berserkers can be good, chuds, skin shifters, the chuds, decent magic paths, cool, air, nature, fire, earth, astral, that's important, has summonable stuff, primitive forts, temples cost 200, cheap temples, nice. Okay, first thing we're going to want to do is come up with a game plan for our units, especially in the early phase, or what we call the expansion phase. The things I like to focus on at this point is a few troops you want to capitalize on. I haven't really tested any of these out in this case, but we could find something that works. And then to also find a commander that could get them on the field and get the most usage out of them prior or before turn 12. So let's take a look. Bear warrior, berserker, undisciplined, oof, doesn't take point buffing very well. Ambidextrous, that's actually pretty good. High gold, low resources, recruitment points 13. I'm gonna write some of this down. Bear warrior, low resource cost. Maybe I could make a build out of that. Ooh, stealthy too. We can do some raiding. Chud skin suit shifter. Oof. Look at that cost. We get reduced in upkeep from being sacred, but that's really steep. Resources low. Recruitment points very high. Okay. The reason why I'm writing down these details is because if I want to make a build based around them, I'm going to have to pick my scales so that I can make these work. Chud Berserker. Some better protection. Cap. Berserker. Nice. This is pretty solid. Higher cost across the board. Hunter. Nice, he's got a javelin, spear, good strength, good attack, a little bit more gold, stealthy too. Any of these not stealthy? Oh yeah, these two aren't. Maybe if I want to do a stealthy build where I raid opponents, I could emphasize these early on. We got undisciplined too. Warrior. Pretty standard looking dude here. Some decent strength, good attack skill, high hit points. All these chud dudes, they got a lot of health. Some good stats too. Cost a little bit more in terms of resources and gold though. Oh, he's got no javelin. That's a shame. But this is just a Russian warrior. Okay, so this is lower cost, not by a whole lot more, but decent protection, okay stats. Our spear guy. Then we we got our other hunters. Stealthy. But also undisciplined. So we got a few different builds we could do. We could do a build more focused on these guys here, which seem to be more regular core troops, but with some decent fighting stats. We could go here with the Chuds, and we could focus more on the raiding ones, like the Bear Warrior. Oh, can be recruited in all forests. Okay. That's interesting. Or the Hunter, the Spear and Javelin. Not having a shield might be a little tough on these guys. The Skin Shifter is pretty cool too. So let's take a look at these. These are our other forest recruits. Non-fort provinces. Okay, that's pretty cool. Thunder Priest. Wow, that's pretty interesting. Good paths here. Really good paths. Okay, so there's definitely something we want. Put stars next to this. We want forest. I think I'm gonna go more with this forest undisciplined build. I'm kind of weary on using undisciplined. We'll see how it goes. I kind of want to try these hunters out because maybe I could do some ambushes, stealthy ambushes early. Let's see what else we got here. Akuno. Good magic paths. Everything in here's got recuperation. Ooh, Werebear. This guy transforms into something cool. But let's think of which guy in here is going to be our early commander. If I'm going to want to build around Chud Hunters, dang, look at that gold cost though, and Bear Warriors, I'm going to need to put emphasis on gold. And let's see. These chieftains, alright. I'm not going to do too much with blessing, I don't think, this time around. Well, these skin shifters are good. I think they transform into a bear that's sacred as well. So maybe we'll do skin shifters with these. Could do this guy, but he's going to require some more points we might not put into our scales. Air, fire, nature, astral, air, nature. So let's keep these paths now in mind of what we have access to for our pretender. We've got fire, nature. We've got these. Might be good to write these down too, of what we've got access to. So we've got one fire, one nature, potentially two nature, because we get this random path for nature. One astral, one air, one earth. That pretty much covers this guy. Oh, we got two fire, two air, potentially. Then we've got this guy. Ooh, we could get 3 air. Yeah. That's pretty good. We're covered in that regards. We could focus on boosters and how to get these guys a little further. Oh, I skipped this one. Oh, look at that. 3 fire. Nice. So we've actually got a lot that we can work with here. Now remember, I want to do Chud Hunters, Bear Warriors, maybe Skin Shifters. Ooh, look at the recruitment ones. Yikes. And then we can either do, it's going to be tough early. Probably just some of these regular guys to get them out. I'm looking for a cheap sacred or a cheap blesser right now. This guy can actually work, but that that leadership's really low, so unless he's running 10 skin shifters with good buffs, you're not going to want to run him in there. He's obviously not going to bring a ton of these guys to the table, because he only has leadership 10, so he might tote these guys around, and that's about it. Drop some blesses on them. Now, this is where we get into some of the important aspects of analyzing a nation by using something called the Dominions Mod Inspector. All you need to do is type in Dominions 5 Mod Inspector and you'll find the link to this. It just loads the data and you'll have it there. It's really helpful, so you can load up anything you want from literally anywhere in the game. You could look at spells, you can look at items, you can look at units, events, all these cool things. Mercenary composition. So this is the one we've got here, Chud Skin Shifter. We could have this open while we consider our bless to see what kind of bonuses we could get that'll make this guy really make a good difference. Cap only and Fortis. Okay, cool. So let's see here. We've got 3 fire, 2 nature, 1 astral, 3 air, 1 earth. Some of this is going to be some advanced knowledge ahead of time. Actually, I'm not going to get into boosters with pretender path selection, but long story short, I'd probably pick an earth 2 so that I can start crafting earth boots. And I'll have a separate video on some of the good items you might want to consider. If you go on here, you can see earth boots, boosters. You can even filter boosters to see what all of them are in the mod inspector. The mod inspector is the best thing ever, you guys. You've really got to use it. So I can see everything that can boost paths and how to make them. There's those earth boots. Level 4 construction, requires 10 gems, etc. But we're not going to get too into that. Let's instead think of how we can make these guys and our hunters even better. Let's Chud Hunter. Oops. So we want gold. Resources, we should be okay. Recruitment points, I think this guy was really high. Okay, so for this, if we're gonna get some of those skin shifters, we might want to bump this to 6 if we can afford that many with our gold. Now, order is what's going to get us recruitment points. We're going to want that. We don't need too many resources, but we still want some to be able to recruit our guys in decent quantity. And take cold 3 because it's not going to impact us very negatively, but it will negatively impact those who want to engage with us. We could resist this a little bit better than others who cannot. So taking a little hit on this, not too big of a deal. We're going to want gold. So I'll bump this up. Let's just go to 3. Magic or train? Well, these guys are okay researchers. Yeah, I think having to pick out a researcher is pretty important too. I think this is going to be our researcher. So we should be okay. We won't really need much in terms of magic, I don't think. Now, another thing to consider in the long run is we might have something called national summits. To find those, what you need to do is go into this unit screen on the Dominions Mod Inspector. For our nation, we're going to pick Erathsmus. national only. I believe we can also go here. And we could go conjuration and look at them too. Anyways, let's look at these guys. Okay, looks like we don't get any blood summons. So all of these are going to be summons from the tree of conjuration. So we're going to hop into spell, national only. And there we go. Bears, we can make bears. They're sacred too. Okay. This might be good meat shields later. We need to pay attention to what kind of levels we see here too for these sorts of things. What can we actually cast with our paths? Might be able to cast Firebirds, but I don't know if we have the right cross path. Nope, we need fire and astral. Hey, there we go. We can get Firebirds, which means we can get these things. If I scroll over it, legendary bird with brightly glowing plumage. Bringer of fortune, that's what we want. So this guy, if we have lucky events, we can increase our luck, and this increases the chance of good events happening. So, luck is going to be pretty useful for us. Alright, now as we can see, it might be tough to have an awake pretender while doing this. This is definitely more of a decent scales build. I could get some more points maybe out of magic and drain. I don't think I'll need it quite as much. I think I will need these. But what kind of pretender itself do I want? Let's look back at these paths. I think I'm going to have trouble expanding with bear warriors, skin shifters, and hunters. Let's take a look at them again. I don't think I'll have very many problems. The only problem I'm going to have is gold. Maybe into the mid game these guys aren't going to be as great, but having those bear warriors are really going to help out. We didn't get through the list of all the summons, but I do recommend go through all of your summons. This nation in particular has a lot. Most nations aren't going to have this. They're kind of well known for having a lot of cool and crazy summons, so if you like that thing, Russ is fun. But just take a glance through here, see if anything really stands out to you, and make sure this number up here, Conjuration 3, make sure it's not too high. Aiming for something like 6 or higher in any tree is going to be a little bit of a challenge before something like turn 25. So keep that in mind. But this is going to be our game plan. It's going to be berserking, undisciplined dudes with some sacreds, not great protection. So we might need to get some protection type buffs. Protection buffs, there's some decent ones we could find. I think Earth has a lot of good protection buffs. So let's see. Oh, we could give them some more strength. I don't know if they'll really need that. But if we find something like Iron Warriors. Oh, that would be amazing on them. Alteration 5. This is a great target for us. But we need Earth too. So I said I wasn't going to get too advanced, but maybe for this strategy, I think I see something worthwhile here. Iron Warriors looks great, but we only have Earth 2. If we look at our tree here, we only have Earth 1 that we could get via our mages. We could change that by crafting Earth boots. Here they are. Cool, so we've now just put together a plan actually. Earth boots, we need construction level 4 to make. Iron Warriors, we need alteration level 5 to make. This could be our mid-game plan. We make these boots, put them on some mages, make them Earth 2. Now they could cast this. You can also cast it from Earth 1 by just using gems. So actually, this might not be entirely necessary. But it would be helpful because then we could really start getting some more spells that are related to this. Some Earth 3 spells are pretty good as well for our troops. But I think this is a good target for us if we're going to go with this. And that should be able to take us pretty far. But we might need some things along the way. Alteration 5, let's get rid of these boots. We might just strap some Earth gems to these guys after all, to our mages. Like, let's see who's got Earth. So like to some of these guys, we might give them 1 Earth gem. They're going to be our primary research. Eventually we could roll them out into battle. 1 Earth gem means we can take this and boost Earth 2. Then we can now do our Iron Warriors on our undisciplined spam, which may or may not work, but this is the fun of it. You really get to try out some strategies that you may have not thought of before. I'm pretty sure most veteran players who'd watch this might be like, what the heck are you doing? Because you could just open a guide and read about what to do, but that's not what I'm trying to do here. We're trying to create a plan. Alteration, Alteration 5 for Iron Warriors. I think my S key is messing up. Okay. So we're gonna try that. Doesn't mean it's gonna work. This is gonna be tough to use because you see the number of effects 1, area of effect 1, it doesn't have a very big area of effect. And since these guys are undisciplined, they're hard to keep in the correct formation. So I might do what's called a runway buff, which is where you line up mages, kind of like in a runway for an airplane, and you send the undisciplined dudes down the runway and they get Iron Warriors. Might not work, but I think it's a fun plan to try. Let's see what else we get on our way to Alt 5. We don't need it to necessarily be Earth now. Keep these open because we might like them. Oh no, I accidentally closed it. That's okay. What can we get with alteration? Specifically, what can we get with our paths? Fire, nature, astral, air, earth. This is what we could get with alteration. There's a lot, right? Let's think of 5 and lower. What other things can we pick up in here that might be good? Air shield, twist fate. That's a good one. For a thug. We have an astral thug. Strength might. Gives a small number of units increased strength. Might be worth it, but this also needs Earth 2, and with how little troops this might affect, I don't know if +4 strength on Chuds is going to do a whole lot. Let's consider it though. Poison touch versus poison. Ooh, bark skin. Oh, that would be great for us. Alright, so we see that stuff is starting to add up. Iron Warriors, okay, that's really good. Iron Skin, but what if we can do even more with less? What if we could get Bark Skin? So there's some other spells you're going to find that can do similar things as Bark Skin, but on a larger scale. So, surprise, it's Wooden Warriors. And look, it's also Alteration 5. There we go. I think we found a great approach to this. Now we're ignoring one strong point that we do have. That would be Air 3. Air 3 is massive. But I'm going to leave that up to you to do some exploration on it. And I'm going to say my build I'm going to be going for, at least early on, is looking towards Alteration 5. A lot of other good things we could get in here, especially for thugging. Stone Skin could be really good. Personal Luck, Cheap Fate. We could stack a lot of these together. So maybe we can do an earlier game. An earlier game thugging. Do we have a thug chassis? Thugs are basically units that you drop a lot of buffs on, or commanders you drop a lot of buffs on, that can become super powered. This guy's got some good thug paths. We got Nature, Astral. Air's not bad, but Air 1. Ooh. That's pretty hot. Yeah, we've got thugs. Oh, and you can change shape. Yeah, we've got thugs. Cool. So I've now got a bit of a game plan. So Wooden Warriors. We're gonna do Cheap Fate, Luck, Body Ethereal, Stone Skin, Regeneration. This is going to be for the armies that we're going to scale into the mid game. This is going to be for the thugs / raiders that we're going to use for at any point of the game. So we've got a solid game plan coming together now. Okay, back onto making our pretender. I know that was a lot going on. Let's see. If we want some thugs, we want those warriors. There's a few things we could go with. I think our early expansion might be okay. So those guys seem pretty easy to recruit. Can we do anything good with those skin shifters? Oh boy, it's getting a little crowded with ideas. Can we turn these guys into anything good? Oh yes we can. Let's get these guys. If Wooden Warriors is going to be our strategy later though, it might not be good to throw on Barkskin so early, because we know it's a magic target for us later. So what kind of thing would we want? We could try to research rush this. Research rush straight to Alt 5. Yeah. And then we could start really pumping out troops as well as those thug buffs early. I like that idea. This will allow us to fill in a couple gaps with our army. They don't have magic weapons. Might be a good idea. Add that bless. Magic weapons. Pretty easy way to counter a lot of shenanigans from opponents. And it's good to at least have that option somewhere. We'll probably have access to it with our thugs, because we'll equip them with something else. But it is always kind of nice. Those guys are a lot of gold too, so I might want to keep them alive. They also change form. This is kind of tough to decide. You know what? They have some issues with their health. And I think when they berserk, they might have some problems defending themselves or getting hit. So they're going to need a little bit of defense too. I actually don't know if I should put this much in here. What's something that might help them against basic weapons if their natural protection is low? They just got human skin. What if we give them a different kind of skin? Yeah. Let's give them Stygian flesh. Let's try it. Incarnate though. Shoot. Now it's going to be tough with our scales, but I think we don't need this much. I'm not really going to go for that Firebird rush because I'm going to go straight for an alt rush. I want those recruitment points. Alright, we're going to risk it a little here, but I think we can handle this. This is a weird bless. Taking Astral 1 is really sketchy too, to say the least. It means your guy could get blown up really easily by other astral mages, so we're gonna have to be careful with that. A lot of people might pull their hair out seeing this and say, hey, just use a different pretender chassis that doesn't have the innate astral. And I'd say, yeah, you're absolutely right, and I'm being dumb. There we go. Save some extra points. Saved a lot of extra points. Okay. We want to get some more of those guys. And then it's up to you to find out where those other points go. But I think this is good. Cool. Witchy. Alright, nice. So we went over a lot there on how to kind of lay out your plan, consider how you're going to do things. Remember, we want forests. We want forests, and we want that alt 5. We're going to have to fight against our drain a little bit to get this, but I think we're going to be in good shape. Now, I have no idea if this is going to work. This is kind of just going with the flow here. Remember to rename Prophet. You go in there and click R. Let's do Warlock and Witchy. Okay, I'm gonna tell my scout to attack, see if we can find something there. Gonna make our Prophet, rename him. He's gonna chill for now. We're gonna research, and you know what we're gonna research. We might pick up some other things along the way if you think it's valuable. Construction 4 might be valuable because, as we said in our plan, we're going to want thugs and raiders. And thugs without items is kind of sad. So And if we're going for construction 4, we might pick up some other things along the way. One of those might be, well, let's go in here. You'll want to look through this list of what you're going for. But one thing that might help us, because we have air paths, are owl quills. They grant us a research bonus. And you could get it at such a low level, so maybe it could help us hit our target even earlier. Construction 4. Thugs. Why construction 4 for thugs? There's a lot of good items you could get at construction 4 for thugs. I didn't check if we have water. I don't think we do. But there's just a good amount of them here. And I think you should experiment and play around with them. So we might want to break this up to our earlier game. We might get some advantage out of. Luck might help. This forms for thugs, but we won't have our items yet. Cheat fate might help. Break skin. Not gonna get a whole lot out of this early. So I wonder when we should start rushing construction 2. Is there anything I get in Alt 1 and Alt 2 that will really make a difference in my army? Not without a thug. So we might go construction 2, get our owl quills, rush Alt 5, and then, construction 4. We'll hit the owl quills, try to blaze through this, hit our point when we really turn online, also get our thugs, thug spells, and then get our thug items. And if we're getting our thugs online through here, we might want to get this even earlier. Then we're really behind on this. I'm going to run with this. And this is kind of up to you at this point. Do you want to just try to rush into Con 4? So when you hit Alt 3, your thugs can turn on? It's probably not a bad idea. You can also trade with players early on from the stuff that you get up to Con 4. It means mages aren't going to do anything for a little while, except maybe craft some items and do some site searching. So cool, we have a plan. I think our plan will be fun. And we have an idea of how we want to do things. The next thing you should do is set goals for yourself. Depending on the size of the game, set your province goal by a certain turn. Let's say this is a 15 provinces per player game. Turn 12, we need 15 provinces. So we're testing this in single player to see how we do later down the line. How many forts do we need? What do we need? We want forests for recruiting our guys. So let's do turn 18. We need at least 2 forts. Might be a little tricky depending on where you're located, but I think it might be a good goal to set. Let's see our research targets now. Turn 20. We want construction 4. Turn 26 or 28. We want Alt 5. And then we'll be good to go. Let's try and hit these goals. Let's try and do this thing. You can put more requirements on yourself, and I'll go into something later called the Nemesis test. It's something I like to do to test against worst case scenarios and army building and simulations in single player. But anyways, the first thing we're going to do is this expansion test. And it's really going to show us whether any of this can even hold water. It very well might be that my idea is really horrible and doesn't work at all. Maybe I need to modify my scales. Maybe the units I chose really suck. But we're going to find all that out. And running this expansion test early is fun, because if it sucks, you just try it over with something new. It's not a big deal. Don't play out the whole game. Don't get wrapped up in trying to fight the AI. This is about you trying to come up with how to play this nation, not how to beat, you know, Jotunheim or Ulm or something like that. Alright, let's see what kind of damage we can do. We want to start getting our research going. Oh, look at that. We start on that fort, so we can start cranking these guys out early. Their gold cost is low, especially compared to them. I think we could fit a lot of these guys in a square. Axes and Berserk. We've got these guys too with Stygian skin. They might be good for front lining. Oof. I see this army's got a good amount of dudes already in it. I don't know how much getting some more chaff is going to help. This will give us a good idea of what our unit spread is going to look like too, and how well these guys might perform. But they are early attrition. I can tell they're going to suffer attrition, and I might regret this decision. Versus these guys with Stygian skin blessed, they might really perform much better than I was thinking. And look, we haven't really used up our recruitment points and our resources. We're just using our gold, which we knew was going to be our issue, right? So you know what? The first couple turns of expansion are important relative to us getting mages early. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to crank out this expansion party first. And I'm going to pass on my mage turn 1. See how this can do. Hopefully it could carry me more than a couple provinces despite potentially suffering attrition. Besides, we've got a witchy witch doing some research for us too. Heavy infantry might not be a good one for us. Protection 12, that's pretty good. Attack skill, defense skill 13. One around within 5. Don't mind me talking to myself, I'm just thinking. Oof. Okay. Not the best things to be surrounded by. Nothing too small to really test myself, but I think we could probably take goals. Okay. Ooh, undisciplined means we can't really tell them a whole lot to do. Oh, there we go. That solves our problem. They're gonna do their shit. All the rest of these guys figure it out. What do we want to lose? We want to lose some of them, and I think these guys are going to be able to tank with their Stygian skin, while the rest of these guys come in from the back, but hopefully don't suffer too much attrition. We got 11 on here. We've got 13 on here, so I'll be pretty good, although I do worry about these guys getting in too early. Let's give this a go anyways. Cast Divine Blessing. Spam syllable. Oh no. This is different because we are going to go get a fat stack of ghouls. So leaving him on just Divine Blessing and spells, he's going to spam the crap out of them. We don't want to blow up one at a time, we want to take out a huge chunk. Alright. Let's see how this goes, you guys. We might want to start getting ready for our next dude as well. Resources 46. Alright. Here it goes. This guy's gonna take He should be able to take quite a bit. Oh, good thing they caught him. Oh, look at them tear him up. Ooh, nice. Okay, so proc that. But look at that, a bear with invulnerability. Nice. So that protection's gonna help. You can see I let him just, sorry, I didn't want to see one more thing really quick. There it is, Decree of the Underworld, yeah. Look at that, only suffered one loss there. But he was a big part of it. I don't know if it's a very good example, because having your prophet out there, oh wait, I did rename him, yeah. He gets quite a few kills, but they did fantastic there. Really great against low protection enemies. Let's go ahead and send him in. Again, we're trying to discover more about our nation and about our idea. So if you want to toss it at this group, see how much damage you take. You're only learning, right? You can always just start again, try again later. Let's do it. Let's I wouldn't do this in a multiplayer game or even a serious single player game you're trying to win, sending a stack like this at this when you haven't really tested them out. But I want to, because I could just start a new game and I could just tweak my build a little bit more. We got another slew of these guys coming in. We don't need him. We're still low on gold. We're gonna change that by expanding soon. Ooh, I almost made a big mistake though. Remember, we need at least one priest to be able to recruit, or not recruit, to cast blessing on these guys. Otherwise, we're gonna lose that Stygian skin. So that priest is gonna travel with Donislav. Alright, let's see how this test goes. Okay, let's see. Do these guys with their Stygian skin make short work of them? The Scarls get in. These guys get in through the back. They take a lot of damage, but they deal a lot of damage, so you want them to come in a little later. They're undisciplined. Just a couple dudes there. Nice. Okay, that was pretty good. Lost some of the warriors. I don't really care too much about them. Only 2 bear warriors lost, and they got 11. These guys are cheap. Well, relatively speaking, 10, 10, 9. We've got 18, 4, 13. So cheap in some ways, not in others. Still, amazing performance by these troops. I love it. I'm going to keep going with it. Let's see how they do against something a little tougher, some heavy infantry. Okay, these guys are undisciplined, so we gotta time this right. Cast Blessing. Okay, change formation. Let's see how they do against heavier infantry. I know that's a pretty nasty group. Don't forget the priest. That would be bad. But how else are we going to learn, right? These guys have higher combat speed, so I should actually be fine doing something like this. Scooting this guy. Maybe there. Alright, let's see how it goes again. Oh, god damn AI. Well, we get to see what a bump looks like. Okay, we want these guys to hit first. Boom, they hit first. Look at that! Oh, they tore them up. Oh, and they did their thing. Beautiful. Super happy. Only 1 bear warrior lost. See what happened down here. It's a more regular type of squad. Ooh, it's tough with the heavy infantry, but they are holding their ground. High attrition. So we saw when they got outnumbered by quite a bit in there, we started losing a lot of troops, but that's the thing, we can't let them get caught in a blob, because if they do, they'll start getting whacked by these guys. Still, worked out in our favor. I don't think this is going to work out, though. Yeah. So we lost that bump because we suffered some attrition there. Just take in this information. You know, what happens if these guys encounter a force like that. They get outnumbered. They have Stygian skin. They'll be able to do a little bit of work. But they're not going to have enough to be able to survive. And that's that. We have learned, right? One thing we haven't tested yet is our other troop type. These guys, because we were a little bit short on cash, right? Now look. These could maybe be a midline for us to allow these guys to squeeze through. Size 2. Size 2. So we'll have them up at the front, get a round of throwing their javelins. Maybe they'll absorb some fire with their high hit points, and then these guys will sneak past them. Maybe have these guys sneak past first so their Stygian skin goes off, and they could fill in, do some major damage. So I like it a lot so far, actually. I think this might work, but the things you're going to want to test to is, hey, did we hit this by turn 12? Did we get these forts by turn 18? Did we hit construction around this time? And once we did our thugs work? That's an important one. Otherwise, this may have been a waste, right? If our thugs sucked and we didn't try them out, was there any point? And then here we need to see, did our army kick ass with all those buffs that we wanted going into Alt 5? So that's what we're going to want to do here for testing out any of these nations. And actually that's all the concepts I have for how to play a nation, or to pick up any nation and start playing it. Yeah, in this case, lost a bump here. That's going to happen while you're testing. That's what testing's for. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope it shows you how to really pick up any nation, come up with a plan, start executing it, and having fun. It happens all the time where I'll do this sort of thing and my troops just, it fails. Like, it's really bad. I don't have enough income to recruit anything. They die when they attack because I missed out on an aspect about their troop types. But it's a fun part of the learning process. There's a lot of cool things you could do to make these nations work, and I don't even know if this is something this nation would ever want to do. But that's why I think it's important to try it out this way first before diving into guides. Guides might show you some key features here and there, but this is how you're going to learn to pick up anything and have some fun with it. Alright, adios you guys. This is again Erathsmus with SoCal GG. Feel free to join our Discord group. See ya.